This is Catherine. I've come back. I'm actually now going to talk to a couple of people who aren't just in the next room like Peter. They're actually in two other states that aren't Queensland, and they couldn't be in the same room with me even if they wanted to. So I'm just going to ask Kate and Nathan to unmute yourselves and turn on your videos. And are you guys there?
Heyo.
Hello. How are you guys going? Well, where did Nathan go?
I'm back. Good.
You're back. That's great. So you guys are old friends of ours. You've been around in the past. You're Con graduates and current students at ANAM. Yeah, there's a lot of people who may not have known you here, but can you just do a basic introduction of yourselves? Just tell us a bit about yourself and maybe something fun, where you live, that sort of thing. Kate, did you want to go first? You're unmuted.
Sure. Oh, Nathan. Yeah. Hi, I'm Kate. Thanks for having me tonight. I am currently in Adelaide with my family, but yeah, I did move up to Brisbane to study back in 2015 or something, really long ago. And yeah, I then moved to Melbourne to study at ANAM. That was like the start of last year. But yeah, since COVID, have just come back and I'm doing online study here. So yeah, about you, Nathan?
What's something fun that people may not know about you?
Oh, I mean, I do love a good cup of tea. That's probably, yeah. I don't know if that's fun. It's fun for me. So.
Oh, it's definitely good. What have you been drinking this evening? Because you had a cuppa before.
Oh, I do. Yeah. This one is actually my favorite tea shop is in Brisbane. It's the Tea Centre. Would highly recommend if anyone's into tea, or if you're not, a good place to start. So yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Cool. Nathan, how about yourself?
Yeah, I am from Brizzy and studied at the Con from 2015 through to 2018. And then I worked in Brisbane for a year and then moved down here to Melbourne this year. So I'm a first year studying percussion at ANAM. And yeah, I'm in Melbourne, so I can go 5Ks from my house at the moment.
Lucky you. Yeah, what's something random fun? I hear you're into vegetable instruments.
Yeah, this is what you get for doing a percussion degree. Last year, a bit of some of my work was to make school shows using instruments out of vegetables, so like a carrot recorder and eggplant castanets. But today I was practicing with some cups, so you never know what's in the life of a percussion.
I'm glad you spent 4 years at uni doing that. Yeah, great. So thanks for joining us. Now, there's a lot of some art students here who probably don't know anything about ANAM, and some con students who may be thinking about ANAM in the future. Do you reckon you could describe what ANAM actually is? What's a typical day like? That sort of thing. Either of you feel free to kind of chip in on that one.
I can go if you want, Nathan.
Yeah, you've been there a year longer and yeah, not under COVID, Kate.
Of ANAM in real life. Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's not a university as such. You don't graduate with a degree or anything. But I think most people do what's called the professional performance program. So just really like fancy term, but you just get to play a lot, which is awesome and why a lot of people choose to go. So you have like lessons and rehearsals and concerts almost every week, none of which is possible at the moment, but that's like kind of a normal year at ANAM, I'd say.
Yeah. So what's it been like for you this year?
Nathan?
Yeah, this year we've obviously been doing everything online, so I get about 2 lessons a week over Zoom, and then we've had a bunch of international guests in like Q&A sessions. So we've had like conductors like Simone Young, composers like Elena Katz-Chernin, some percussionists have been like the principal percussionists of like the New York Phil, Sydney Symphony, Chicago Phil, a tabla player. Yeah, so we've actually been able to get lots of sort of more varied inputs than we otherwise would have if we were all in person this year.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a flip side to the not being around. It's been kind of cool like that. So yeah. So you guys were both, you're saying you're both probably first years around 2015 at the Con. Do you guys have like a standout memory from your time 4 years at the con?
There was one time that I got stuck in the staircase near the opera space. I went in on a Sunday and I went that back way to go down to the percussion room, and then I tried to open the door and it was locked. And so I had to call security, but the number, like I had my ID card which had security on the back, but it called the Nathan campus, and so I had to explain to them oh, it was just a nightmare. They got me out eventually, but yeah, that's a good fun memory from the con.
Yeah, true. How about you, Kate?
Oh, I don't think I had anything quite that dramatic happen.
Wasn't there something about a violin in the City Cat?
Yeah.
Or don't mention that in public.
No, it's okay. We're all friends here, you know. I think it was right before a Bible study and I left my bag on a ferry, and yeah, that was dramatic. But someone lovely found me on Facebook and messaged me, and anyway, all worked out well, but stressful times there for a while.
Yeah, sorry, I just cut you off there. Yeah, so what was it like for you guys to be students at the con, but also Christians while you were studying? Go for it, Nathan.
There we go. I feel like we had a few Christians in our cohort, quite a lot of string players from memory. So it was really good being able to see each other in the hallways, do classes with one another. Kate and I, we even did some oral group stuff together. Yeah, but then we did have Bible studies at the time when we started. I think just Peter was on campus one day a week. So we didn't have any Bible talks, and it was almost just like the start of building this sort of group and culture and community of Christians at the con. Yeah, which I really enjoyed. And so over time, it was great to see more new faces come and join us and become more involved in the group. And then at one point, Kate and I were leading a Bible study together, which was really good to, dig into the Word ourselves and also be able to lead other people to do that at the same time.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for that. Well, how about you, Kate?
Yeah, I was reflecting back on it a bit today, and it's amazing how much it grew while we were there, and then it just seems like it's blossomed even since we've left and everything, so it's great to see. Also there were we were encouraged to do one-to-one meetup, so I think if you guys know Ellie from a few years back, got to know her really well. She's so beautiful, and yeah, that was a blessing. And then got to hang out with Catherine a bit as well. And I think, also towards the end of our time, there was a prayer trio thing happening, and so I got to do that, and it's kind of lots of different areas to get involved with, which was really great.
Yeah, I think from memory, 2015 was Peter's first year actually doing 1 day a week on campus. That was pretty much brand new with you guys. So you're kind of the first generation of the group at the moment. So it's encouraging to see and hear your reflections back on that. So tonight, I think, actually also Ellie, we had her as a special guest probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So so you've been getting all the old crew back. So that's kind of cool that you remember her fondly as well. Tonight, we're thinking about how to bring all of our life, I guess, under the reign of King Jesus. So maybe I was wondering if you guys have any reflections, what sort of things or circumstances have made it hard for you to kind of live with Jesus as your king since you've kind of finished up in uni and moved out into the big world and gone to ANAM and all that sort of stuff. What's made it hard to follow Jesus? What challenges have there been?
I guess because I had spent a year working once I was out of the con, and so it's very easy just to get into sort of the daily grind. For me, that was a bit of teaching and performing as well. And I guess at the con, there's this group here is a great space to continue asking big questions about faith and things, but it's easy to sort of let that slip a little bit. Whilst we've been at ANAM this year, we have been able to have a Bible study together with a few ANAM students. There's maybe about 5 or so Christians at ANAM, which has been really great to encourage one another. We've been reading through some parables or prayers throughout the Bible and a few different sections as well. So always keeping Jesus at the forefront, I think, has been important and something that Kate and I and a few others have been able to encourage one another through ANAM as well.
Yeah, it sounds like it's something you have to actually work at. It doesn't just automatically happen.
Yeah, we don't have any staff workers at ANAM to help us out, so it's sort of up to us to do this. And if we don't want to do it, it's not going to happen. If we want to do it but we're too lazy, it's not going to happen either. Yeah, it takes intentional effort to encourage one another. So yeah, it has been really good, particularly this year with COVID and all that, to have that space of knowing there's still Christians around and encouraging each other in our faith.
Yeah, thanks for that. Kate, have you got any thoughts on what's been hard for you?
It's actually quite funny because I did ANAM last year as well, and just so weird going from such a having a structured Christian group at the place you're studying to there being nothing, and also just a lot less Christians in general. So I think in my year there were maybe like one or two, or there are one or two others, and whereas at the con we had, I don't know, I reckon there was at least 15 or 20, I don't know. Anyway, there was a lot. So that was a really big adjustment for me, I think. Going from feeling really supported to then having to I guess fend for myself a little bit more, but still having some beautiful Christian friends there as well. So we attempted to get something started last year, but the schedule is just such a crazy thing, kind of like at the con, but I'd say maybe even more. And so it's just really hard to find a regular time to meet. So not very proud to say it, but I think we may have met up a total of 4 times last year. So it's still great to know there were others there with you and have those friendships and things. But this year has been so encouraging just to see how that has developed, and that's kind of because of COVID, really. Now we're online and able to commit to spending weekly time together. So that's been amazing how God's worked through this weird year.
And we've even had 2 different non-Christians come and join us as well, which especially when online, someone can't even just stumble into a conversation and join us. That invitation has to happen. So it's been really great to see those people come along and ask questions about Jesus and about the passages we're reading, and hopefully develop some faith in them as time goes on too.
Yeah, well, we're praying that kind of translates into real life once everything's back. So just one final question, guys. There's a whole bunch of, I guess, Con and QCA students here listening in and preparing for their own lifetime of following Jesus, either as an artist or a musician. So what advice do you have for them right now as they're kind of at the Con and QCA? How can they keep growing in living for Jesus in preparation for that time ahead, I guess, when they're leading?
I guess as an artist, it's very easy to become so sort of obsessed with what you're doing, what you're practicing or making or whatever it is. I'd have periods where that's just taking all of my focus and attention. But the times when I think it's important to be bold in your faith, and so that means actually taking some of those moments of evangelism where you might be a little bit embarrassed or shy or quiet or not wanting to say something or ask that particular question that's on your mind. I think it's really important to do that. And so some of the fondest memories I have of being a Christian at the con was just reading the Bible one-on-one with some non-Christians. And so, really great, as I was saying before, to give them the opportunity to ask those questions. So I'd say take a moment to not be dwelling in your art as much. Not that it's not important or not valued, but there's something greater and something bigger to what your life should be about, I think. And so to take that step of being bold, to sharing your faith and asking those questions of other people to help them think about their faith, I think is really important.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Nathan. Kate, what are your kind of reflections?
Yeah, it's awesome, Nathan. I fully agree. And I think we always, as artists, I think, and Christians, we always swinging between, or for me, it's sometimes music is seems really important, and other times it's the balance is always changing. So just keeping a check on that, I guess, and yeah, asking God as much as you can to like help you keep him at the center. And that makes music so much more fulfilling when you're freed from it being like your whole identity and everything that you live for, and yeah, frees you up to love the people around you and all that kind of thing. Yeah, I'd also say just like for me, yeah, Christian community has been so important, and as artists and musicians, we're often like moving around a lot, whether it's cities or countries, maybe one day. Yeah, so I think like just investing in, yeah, a local church has been like such a powerful thing for me, and also in like the Christian community wherever you might find yourself, like if that's at the con or yeah, it's just been so important to be built up and like intentionally seeking out those relationships to, yeah, let God work through those people in your life. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, guys. That's, yeah, I love hearing from you, just seeing you again and hearing from your wisdom about just your reflections on your time. We're going to hand over to Peter now. He's